What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is up a very impressive 7.54%, 1402 the low, 1553 the high, and a lot of volume. So 101 million shares being traded, 59 is the average. Market does close in roughly 12 minutes, just so you have that as a benchmark. But for SoundHound today, there isn't any news nor any SEC filings that's really moving it higher. Rather, it is the technicals. And this is something I really hit home in my video yesterday about, where I went over some expectations, because looking right over here at the market position for Friday, so that was September the 5th, you had a kind of strong amount of selling at that 1420 to 1430 range. And if SoundHound was able to really hit that hard first and move higher, then the next strong wall would be pretty much where we're at, and that is exactly what played out. But not only that though, you see the strong amount of buying really also moving up, so stronger support levels ultimately. So this is a very good scenario that could result in easily us hitting that $17 range. So I'll go over the technicals a little bit more near the end of the video, but looking at the flow, you see a lot of big transactions. So hedge funds definitely are getting in, and popping back over here, you can kind of see that as well on both the secondary market and also dark pool. So moving this to 250, you see a lot of big transactions, some pockets of selling, but that's just adding to kind of the overall volatility, right? First thing, you had some uncertainty, and I think that was just merely piggybacking off the broader market. Nothing really specific to SoundHound, but even like I said, you have a lot of good buys going on. Even on the dark pool, massive amount of institutions getting in, and dark pool is often enough used by hedge funds as well as shorts. At the time of doing this video, shorts are returning 345,000 shares. 33.67% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 122.85 million shares overall are being shorted. So at the end of the day, shorts are just this close away from being at all-time high numbers. So I think just generally shorts are very overextended. And most likely, if the rest of the data for the rest of the week, such as PPI, CPI, Michigan Consumer Sentiment, if that comes in better than anticipated, you could very much see a squeeze with SoundHound. Not a mother of all short squeeze types of scenarios, but at least for it to return to maybe that 28% range is fairly realistic. One thing I do want to bring up though is that SoundHound recently participated in a conference that was a couple days back, and during of which they really alluded to Q3 and 4 being on point. There was another company that I do cover, Resolve AI, very similar to SoundHound, and in their conference as of today, the CEO was asked about what they thought about their stock price, and they said that they are at a crazy discount. So looking at Resolve right now, their PS ratio, because they're not profitable right now, PS is sitting at 31.3. Just in comparison, for SoundHound, they are at 31. So essentially, SoundHound is still, I guess, in the eyes of other CEOs, also extremely cheap. So something as well to keep in mind. I know a lot of people really hate on SoundHound, saying it's just overdone, but I think just generally speaking, if SoundHound is able to hit their Q3 and 4 as what they alluded to in their last conference, man, you're going to see this go up like crazy. But anything is possible. SoundHound very heavily shorted, a lot of manipulation, so sometimes it just acts in its own accord. But aside from all of that fun stuff, looking at the options, 37 million in calls, 2.8 million in puts, and then 47% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. So despite it running up as much as it has, you are still seeing a lot of optimism for that to continue. So definitely good to see. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that $16 to $17 range by the end of this week. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub $13.50. But right now with it at 1532, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So going into tomorrow, 1609 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. And then 1327 is going to be the next strong support. I would have anticipated a certain level more, I guess, of consolidation to this pivot point as what I brought up, but clearly big institutions had other plans and just wanted to really propel SoundHound higher. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound in the comments below. At the time of doing this video though, there hasn't been any new analyst ratings. So it looks like 28 days ago, that was the last one. So most likely their upcoming earnings, which is, as I mentioned yesterday, unannounced. That'll probably be the next thing to prompt new ratings. But honestly, I think today really hits home on how discounted truly SoundHound is, or else you wouldn't be seeing this level of buying. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers. And in fact, I actually just gave a update on SoundHound, pretty much signaling that it was on the verge of a breakout, and I gave a pretty solid price target. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.